Good afternoon. It's not morning for once. I hope everybody's doing good and has had a good weekend thus far. Safe, happy, prosperous if you're working. Today I'm going to go through a few things that I've done to the Jeep. I've done videos on them, but I haven't really explained a whole lot what's going on because I'm still new. So today we're going to go under the Jeep and going to take a look at what I've done. Also, I've got a new little stand I'm working on. I'm going to show you a little clip of it, what I've used and everything, how to put it together. It's real simple, real cheap, real easy. It's hot. Let's get through this. Okay, as you see, we are now under the Jeep. Go over a few things that we've done here. Right off the bat, you notice these things here. We have Barnes four-wheel drive, drag link and tie rod, complete with the ends. They're GM offset. Well, that one I don't think is, but all the others are all offset ends for 1 ton. 7075 aluminum, so it bends and it won't stay bent. It'll spring back. I know there's some videos out there. I think JK Jeep and Gadgets, they might have some. He does a really good test on that one with a jack, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think my jack will hold it anyway. Right here we have Barnes four-wheel drive Dana 30 cover for the front. I went ahead and painted it red. You probably saw that in some of the videos. If you can't put paint on metal or paint something, I mean, I don't know. There's so many videos out there. It's crazy. Here we have, use my light. We have, right there is the Pitman arm that got replaced. I know there's a video up there. It's got quite a few views right now of it being, well, the actual broken versus fixed, the slop versus no slop, if you will. That one wasn't too bad. If you have the Pitman arm puller, it's a fairly easy job. Just take your time. It's not bad. Let's see what else we've got going on up under here. Oh, not a whole lot is on the front end of things, but we did take the transmission pan down when we did our fluid and filter, painted that up, and it's a little rough. I didn't buy a new one. I figured the skid plate's gonna protect it a little bit. The front drive shaft let go. I wasn't gonna spend the money on building the CV joint on it, so I went to Adam's drive shaft and got the 1310 heavy duty, all greasable. I know a lot of people say the extreme duties are better. I like the ones that you can grease just because I'm old-fashioned and I have a grease gun and I like to use it. That's that. Now, moving along. Right there, this big long metal thing is just the skid plate on the gas tank. That's replacing the old tin can that was on there. Not really a big deal. Moving along. This is where it gets fun. You can't really see it, but the frame and the underbody, I went ahead and I cleaned the hell out of this with all kinds of stuff. I went and cleaned with a brush, a water, and finally some acetone once I got it all clean from all the debris. You can see it probably comes off pretty easy. Yeah, well, what I did was, and I'll show you in a minute, the products I used was rust reformer on anything that was, you know, had rust in the corners or something. It just looked cancerous as far as rust goes. I'd clean that up, put the rust reformer on it. That stuff's awesome. Then you go on with some self-etching primer. I don't know why. It's just what I had in my box. And then I hit it with some black enamel paint. And after that was dried and cured for 24 hours, I sprayed it with Cosmoline. Now, I haven't used Cosmoline in a long time, and I forgot how impressed I was with that stuff. Awesome. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check it out. It's definitely worth it. Again, there's videos out there how to put it on. I don't really feel like I need to do that here. Just kind of show you the end product, give you a little bit of an update on how it's doing, and the wear is just phenomenal. I mean, I cannot complain. This is a 2008 with 225,000 on it, and she's looking pretty good. honestly. Moving along to some of the other work we've done was the exhaust. I put on the Flowmaster, one that tucks right up real nice. Up underneath everything. Goes up and over in the back on the sway bar. Up and over everything. So you have super, super high clearance on everything. It's tucked up there real nice. As you can see, there's a little bit better shot of everything. Pardon the mud underneath. It was pouring out the past couple of days, and I did come out and wash this with a bucket of water and some soap in the rain, because that's what I do, I guess. But yeah, I wasn't going to climb under here and do this. I'll just hit it at the car wash with a pressure washer they have. Moving along to the back further. Oh, you can see this still all nice and Cosmoline. And we have the rear diff, the Barnes four-wheel drive Dana 44. These things, the front and the back ones, I think the front one's a little thicker than the back one for obvious reasons. If you're going to hit anything, it's most likely going to be in the front. Unless you're really getting yourself into trouble and, well, then you're going to be backing into things. Either way, these things are pretty thick. It's going to take a lot to go through them. I think the front is like 3/8 of an inch thick. So, as you see now, there's the evap can. That typically doesn't go here. It typically goes right here. I have the evap can moving day on there. Again, it's not super in depth. I took it off from in here. You can see one of the mounting holes, and I think there's one there and another one over there. Maybe there's two here and one there. Either way, there's 3 mounting holes for it. Clean that rust all up. Rust reformer, primer, paint, Cosmoline, everything's looking good. And luckily I didn't have any problems here. This little, it's like a little pump or some sort of what it's labeled as, I don't know. I think it's a pump for the evap can. And luckily that wasn't damaged or anything. So that's good. But as you can see, it's tucked up above the axle with plenty of room to travel. It's not going to hit that thing. Whereas if it's over here, I mean, that's kind of right out in the open, and it did hang down a bit. Not a good situation at all. I like this location a lot better. It's much more protected, and I think the engineers over there should consider that shit when they're building these things, what people are going to be doing with them, how they're going to be used, what they're intended for, and whatnot. And I think, aside from the brakes we put on it, and we put in some other stuff, but that doesn't really pertain to the underneath. We'll save that for another video. But that's it. Oh yeah, and the rock lights you saw the other day in the video, those are done. And that was a real pain in the ass job because I'm so meticulous about everything. But hope you enjoy the view of the rear diff and the cover and how dirty it is. And again, I'm going to get to a review on this sooner or later. This thing's pretty cool. Nice. These are the 3 products I was talking about that I use to do the undercoating. The primer, the enamel, and the RP342, otherwise known as Cosmoline. I get the heavy formula. The one thing that I don't have here with this trio is the 4th can, which is the Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. That stuff is amazing. It really does a good job. But follow the directions on how it's applied, how to let it sit for, I think it's 24 hours before you do anything to it, and you'll be in good shape. So that's that on what I've done to undercoat it. Again, just follow the directions on the can, let things cure appropriately, drying and whatnot, and it's going to last, it's going to look good, and it's going to wear very, very well. All right, so here's the stuff that I used to make this little stand. It's not really much. These are the little felt pads that you would put on like a cabinet door to keep it from slamming. And I don't remember where I got this. I just remember it looked really useful at the time. I know I've had it for a couple of years now, just sitting around the house. I don't use it for too much. So that's that portion of it. And over here we got this bag of clips I got at Harbor Freight. So combining this with this, I've come up with my stand. So I guess we'll try that out. See how it goes.